How's everybody doing today? Sean Eckert from Adelaide Studios, and that was a little bit of a bass cover line song from Pink Floyd, and that one is called Money. And the reason for that for this video here today, and we're going to get into that right now. Hey guys, welcome back. Sean from Adelaide Studios, and in today's episode I'm going to get into the Line 6 Helix, and I want to do a cost analysis cross comparison. I purchased the Line 6 Helix a couple months back, right in the middle of COVID, and I had some time to spend with it, and I really struggled with the fact that I have all this gear, and I'm kind of an old school guy. I mean, I've done some of the Line 6 products over the years, but I've struggled with the fact of building my own pedal board and to do the tube amps, etc., etc. I run a stereo rig, old school stereo rig, and I'll kind of break that out and kind of show you what this is all about on how I do a cross comparison analysis cost wise for the money aspect of it. And I immediately started to notice that the pedal board that I was trying to build and accomplish was quickly adding up, very, very quickly. And if I show you here real quick about this is the board that I was trying to build. This isn't my actual board, but it's a good buddy of mine's. It's his board. And Mr. Jack Facca, who is the owner-operator of Fury Guitars here in Saskatoon. And the guy has amazing tone, so I tried to emulate some of his products that he has on there. In doing so, what I discovered was the cost of these pedals today, as you'll see, far outweighs the purchase of a Line 6 Helix. And where I'm going to take you down this journey is I'm going to take this actual pedal board. This is this is Jack's pedal board that I have on my screen here right now, and I'm going to break it apart component by component and kind of take you through the motions of that and for a cost analysis. And I had started to build this, and then I stopped the build because I went, this is crazy already. The amount of money that this board is going to cost me to build. I've always had my eye on the Line 6 Helix, and I've always thought this isn't about the Line 6 Helix tones and things like that. There are thousands of videos on YouTube that already cover that, but not too many people. In fact, I couldn't find anybody that did a cost analysis on it. So that's where I'm going to go with this. So again, I'm going to break this apart component by component, like each individual pedal, and I believe we're going to cover off 9+ pedals in this build, in this cost analysis, and then we'll get into the gear, the rigs, and all that stuff. So as you can see, there's 9 pedals on this board, and I'm going to start from the top left corner, and we're going to go across the top, and then we'll jump down to the second row, and then into a controller for an amp as well, and things like that. So let's go. So what's the first thing we're doing? First thing we're doing is we're going to talk about the Line 6 family here a little bit. So they've got the rack, the rack version. They've got the floor model. They've got the floor model, meaning this one right here. And obviously the light version, and then some stomp boxes and things like that, and then just a controller as well. So I'm going to be talking about this guy right here is the one that we're going to do, and there it is right there. So that's the one we're going to talk about here today. Okay guys, as I said, I'm going to use this layout here that you can see on the screen in regards to how I'm going to talk about these pedals and where we're going to go with that. And I've got all the money figured out, and I'll show that to you at the end of this, so please bear with me. And let's take the first pedal. So as you can see, this is all, I've got how I built this little template for you guys to follow me through. This is the price here, your price, $23.29 Canadian dollars. I'm in Canada. The USA pricing I've put right here up on the right hand side, and I also have euros in here as well. So if you want to do a cross comparison, write these numbers down and see if it works for your situation. All right. First one up on the list is a Boss noise suppressor, the NS2. Good little unit. And the cost on this guy here is $139. I'm just rounding down. I'm not doing the 99-cent thing. No point in doing that. So it's $139. So that's the first one in the chain. Next one over is the Tube Screamer. The Tube Screamer, let's get this off to the side here. Tube Screamer is a great, and there's a nice Tube Screamer in the Helix as well. So the Tube Screamer is $249, so $250. And the next one in the chain is the Boss Compression Sustainer, the CS3. And the price on that guy there is $149. So if you add them all up, as we're going here, add and get your calculator and add all this stuff up. I'll show them on a spreadsheet at the end how that all works out, and we'll keep going. Next guy up is the CE3, is what the Boss course and pedal, the CE3. I've got the CE5 up here on screen because the CE3 is too old, and I couldn't find it, so you'd have to settle for a CE5. Which I'm sure is it's got some more options on it and probably sounds a little better. Price on that guy is $169. And the next one over is the Boss Chromatic Tuner, the TU3. And this is always been a good device, this one here. And it's only $130, so that's not too bad of a buy. And we'll keep going with the chain. This guy here, the digital delay, the Giga Delay DD20, made by Boss again. These guys are hard to find. You can find them, but they're a great delay. And as I'm doing the comparison between the analog into the Helix type thing, all this stuff, the very close comparisons to everything I'm showing you here, lives inside that Helix. So we'll keep going for price wise. This guy is $262 Canadian. And again, they're hard to find. So you might find one on eBay or Kijiji or something like that, or a secondhand store. But I don't think the DD20 is even available anymore. I think it's a DD, I don't know what it is now, 30 or something like that. But neither here nor there. We're talking about the one I'm building here. And then we get into the Jimi Hendrix wah pedal. This is the JH1D Jimi Hendrix Signature. And this guy is $222 by itself. Next in the chain is the Morley wah pedal. So basically, or sorry, not wah pedal, the Morley Volume Plus pedal. And so it's another expression pedal. It's nice to have, the volume. You got, whoever builds boards knows that this is a must-have. And the price on this guy is $160. And we'll keep going down the chain. This guy here, the Clone Distortion pedal. I have one of these. I bought one of these from a local guy in Saskatoon here. Mike is his name, and builds great pedals. However, mine, I had to show it to you just like this, but mine's back at his shop getting repaired. So this particular unit here is about $250 Canadian. The original Klon, you can find a whole bunch of Klon clones on the internet, but the original Klon is too far out of reach. I mean, anybody who knows pedals knows the Klon pedals. They don't make them anymore, and and they're like stupid, like $4,000 or some ridiculous thing. But anyway, good little knockoff here for sure, and that's in the chain as well. Next thing on the list, so you need to take this these pedals and you need to put them on an actual board. The one in the picture here that I've got that I'm trying to match is a homemade one with Tolex on it and all that stuff. But you have to buy something to put all this stuff on, unless you're going to throw it all in a bag, but I'm sure you don't want to do that. So Voodoo Lab makes one here on the Long and McQuaid website in Canada, and it's $320, 319 bucks. So we'll throw that on the list as well because we need it. And then you can't forget the patch cables. You can spend little amount of money on patch or a lot of money on patch. I need like 20 connectors for this setup, so basically 20 patch cables, and there's a price on here on the screen of $67 for those 20. They come in packs of 3, but I need 7 packs of them, right? So there's another 67 bucks right there. And then you need pedal power, obviously, unless you're going to run batteries through all this stuff, but you're not going to do that. So you need the pedal power, the Voodoo Labs, just like the one that's on the bottom of this board as well. Price on that is 250 bucks, So you add all this stuff up. We're not even done yet. We haven't even touched the controller that's on the board. But you add all this stuff up, and this is kind of what you're going to be looking at the end of the day. So the other thing that's on the board here is this is a JVM MIDI controller's foot pedal for the Marshall. I forget which head he has on his, but it's got 4 channels on it. So what I have is the Hughes and Kettner. I've got the Grandmeister 36, and so my MIDI controller, which you'll see on the screen here right now, is that footboard by itself. The foot switch is 269 bucks, and we'll get into the other components for the analog rig here as we continue. There's my head. This is a Hughes and Kettner Grandmeister Deluxe 40. I have the 36, but I paid the same damn price for this thing. I couldn't find any current pricing on it, but I paid the same money as this thing right here. So that's another 1,200 bucks, and I believe I actually paid 1,300 or 1,400 when I bought mine. And that's all tube head. And with MIDI features in it, obviously, and to power. So that's my power on, because I run a stereo rig. That's power on one side. So then I got to do power on the other side because I like to run it. Okay, so I just showed you the Grandmeister 36 and my FSB floorboard that would also be part of my analog rig. And now for cabinets on that, so now the cabinet I have for my Grandmeister 36 on the left side of my chain is a Marshall 412, and that is going to run you 699 bucks. So let's call that $700. Now on the right hand side, I've gone with a Line 6 product because I'm just using the clean channel on that when I'm running that, because I run stereo out of my Hughes and Kettner head, and I run it through my effects return is how I do that. So it's a clean channel going through the other side, and I get the same, all my settings live inside my Hughes and Kettner. And so the Line 6 cabinet here is just a regular 412 MK2 cabinet. Price on that's 409 bucks, quite a bit cheaper than the Marshall. And again, the head is a Spider. Mine's a Spider 4. You can't even buy them anymore. So I'm showing you a Spider 5 here. So you're going to pay anywhere from 500, 600 bucks type thing for that head. And so let's look at the comparison now. Dollar for dollar, what are we looking at? So let's bring up this next screen here. Here we go. So the Helix rig versus the Old School. Before I show you this, hang on a sec. So I'm running this Helix, and forget about the outboard gear and outboard gear and all the analog gear, right? Forget about all that. I'm just going to run this Helix, and I'm going to pair that with some Elite. So no guitar cabinets at all. So I'm going to pair that up with two of these Elite series powered woofer, 10-inch woofers. So they call them the E10P. And these guys are $949 a piece. And I'll probably show one to you here. So that's these guys right here. You can see the size of them, right? Compared to me. So that's them. So I got two of them because I'm definitely still going to run stereo. I'm not going to ever give up my stereo options. And in the digital world, you know, when you're running stereo, it's so huge. And so these guys, they're extremely heavy, and they're only like this big, but they're 325 watts a piece. So I got 650 watts of power, and it rips your head off. And if you're running in-ears, playing live, you don't even need these. But I like to have stage volume, on, even if you're running in-ears. The nice thing with these, and I'll show this to you in a later video, once I kind of dive into the Helix and show you some things that can do. The really cool thing about these is I got 25-foot leads on these guys, so I can go 50 feet if I want. It doesn't matter. But I can take that and put one over by the drummer. I can definitely put one by me, or I can put them across the stage from each other, or I can put them wherever I want to put them. And I put my headstock up on these monitors, and they respond just like a real amp. So I can get feedback, I get some swells going, and some harmonics and things like that, and overtones. So that's phenomenal. And if you're running a drop pedal, for any reason at all, even in an analog situation, you run a drop pedal, you will not get feedback out of your amp. So these are good. Now, Line 6 recommends that you buy FRFRs, right? So the frequency response, non-responsive, no color in them whatsoever. These things here are wedge monitors, is what they are. FRFR, these things are fantastic, man. If you put any kind of color on your tone at all, FRFR is not going to really mean anything. So you don't need to go and spend the money through Line 6 and spend $1,000 on a cabinet, that's made specifically for this. Size wise, you can get the 212 or the 112. These work great. So my rig really can fit in a back seat. My whole rig fits in a back seat, or the back of my, behind my seats in my truck, right? So anyway, two of these guys I got. And let's do the cross comparison now. Two half stacks, all the analog pedals, and the controller board and everything like that for the analog side. Then I've got the Helix and just two small wedge speakers. That's all I have. So let's cross compare these guys now for the money. So here it is. So on the left side here, you'll see on this side, you see it's Helix amp and effects pedal board was $2,329. Sounds like a heavy price tag, but it's not. Then my Elite 10P powered speakers, two of them, cost me $1,898 for a grand total of $4,227 plus tax, of course. Now let's go over to the right side. Analog pedal board build. All those pedals that I mentioned on that board come to a cost of $2,364 for 9 pedals. 9 pedals. That's how much that costs. You just look here. You got $2,364 on the analog side and $2,329 on the Helix side. You're already saving $30. $35. You're already saving that. Still stay on the analog side. So rig left. So my left side of my stereo spectrum, this is what I have to power this thing. My Hughes and Kettner FSM 432, $269. My HKGM 36, Grandmeister 36, $1,200. My Marshall 4x12 cab, $699. My right side of my rig is my Line 6 Spider 4, $579, the head, and the Line 6 4x12 cab for another $409. Grand total of $5,519. Compare those. So you got $5,519 to $4,227. Right? So you're saving, what did I write down here? You are saving, I don't know where I put it. I thought I put a savings somewhere here. So right there, just based on digital Helix, compact, versus analog, 2 trucks to load everything, all that gear, you're saving yourself $1,292 just for the show, or just for just in a cost comparison. You're saving $1,300, guys. So let's go back over to the Helix side, and now remember we only did 9 pedals. We did 9. That's it. So there, in that Helix, there's 213 stomp box effects pedals that live inside that Helix. And we did 9 for comparison. So if you had to buy all 213 of those, I don't know what that would end up costing you. I never went that far with it. Also, there's 83 different amp options. So 83 heads, power. You name it, it's in there. Then there's 39 different cabinet options. 1x12, 2x12, 4x12, bass heads, bass amps, rigs, whatever, you name it, it all lives inside the Helix. And all as well, when you get into the IR, so impulse responses, there's 16 studio microphones for all your IRs that are in there. Now, talk about microphones. You can have a 57 or a 58 or a Royer 121. Like a Royer will run you $2,000 for a 121. Lives inside this box. So it was very easy. I showed this to my wife, and she's like, "You're not buying any more gear, right?" But I showed this to my wife, and you can't argue with the math. So I'm saving, $1,300. Allows me to downsize my studio and my rig and all that stuff, so I don't have to carry so much gear into the venues, and once we start gigging again, yada yada yada. And it works great in the studio because left and right out, right into my mixer, my board, my DAW, and those tones, those impulse response tones that I have programmed in there are the same. So anyways, I hope you got something out of this video. Took me a lot of research to put all this together, just so I could try to explain it the best way that I can. I wish one of these videos existed when I was looking at it for the first time for myself. But you know what? I learned a lot, and I haven't used my Helix to gig with yet because nobody's gigging right now, but I am rehearsing with it, and I am recording with it. So the rehearsals are fun, and when you're searching for, I mean, let's face facts, right? When we get a patch with all our analog gear, and we get a patch and we like the patch, we got a clean patch, we got a dirty patch, and we got a lead patch, right? We really live inside of three patches. With the Helix, the nice part about that is you can program your whole set list in there, and you can find, the Wasp tones, the BTO tones, the Boston tones, the Aerosmith tones, John Sykes, you name it. I can go on forever, Slash and all that stuff, and you can put that right into your Helix. And so every song is a great reflection of the artist you're emulating. It's awesome. Hope you got what you need out of the video to try to help you to better understand the digital side of the Line 6 of the Helix in particular. And as always, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Again, Sean from Adelaide Studios. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next video.